we go. What is going on? Come on, crew. Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is great, man. We're doing this show a little early today. We're talking Boomer Bust week number 16 fantasy football semifinals. I got a special edition show for you guys on Friday, covering the Saturday games. It's going to be crazy, man. So much NFL football. It's awesome. You know we love this. We got to talk about the players that are going to hit this week and potentially miss. I got my predictions for y'all like every single week, man. Trophies are coming. I'm telling y'all. Let's start off with those running backs. We're talking Joe Mixon, Joey Jojo taking on those Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, here we go, man. Even though Joe, for me, I love the guy. You guys know this, and he still is the top 10 running back currently as running back number 9. He has busted last week, and I mean, it likely sent a lot of us packing for the offseason. Hopefully that is not the case, and if you're still alive and hoping for a nice rebound week, got to tell you, I'm a little bit worried, man. Another tough day could be coming for a Joe Mixon on the horizon. But with that said, Joe is still 72% on the boom rate right now. He could go off at any time. We know this, man. It has not looked great over the last several weeks. And, I mean, taking on the Chiefs as well. I mean, he's coming out of, 2 bust games out of the last 3. And this is when I say I worry about it quite a bit. To play a Mixon, we literally can't bench the guy because of where we drafted him, because he is likely our RB1 or RB2 at this point. It is extremely difficult, but it does not mean that I don't have worry. And hopefully he does get his way into the end zone, which has been a struggle of late because that offensive line is not playing well overall. It's going to be very much caution, but we got to play him. I'm still going to call a bust this week, even though I'm going to still say we got to roll with Joe this week. Chuba Hubbard taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Last week, okay, I was bullish on Chuba, and I mean, to have a very nice day, and it did not happen. He only notched, 6.9 points last week. Did not do us well. The Panthers could be a little bit colder this week taking on these Arizona Cardinals. Temperatures are going to be plummeting as they're talking a bunch of ish to a Kyler Murray. Carolina should definitely stick to the ground and pound attack, gain some traction early and often. And Hubbard, he has been great so far this season, especially where we could draft him. He holds a nice 60% boom rate, which is unreal for the return on investment where we got him in early fall when we did our fantasy drafts. Ground heavy. Playing spoiler is my recommendation this week. Bounce back, boom, for a Chuba Hubbard. Aaron Jones taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, here we have one of the most consistent backs overall this season. Jones has been great, man. He does sit only as the running back 15, but overall he's been doing what we require of him every single week, having boomed 3 out of the last 4 and seeing a nice, tasty matchup versus the slumping Seahawks, who could also be without Geno, which could give this offense in Minnesota a few more opportunities to run the football. Could bring lots of rushing upside this week as well, because it could be something of a rain event in Seattle as well. Nothing too crazy from what I'm seeing so far. But Jones and the Vikings, man, they're still fighting for that top spot in the NFC South versus those Detroit Lions. And Jones, I mean, he's running well. Looks to be over that hip issue. He looked nice last week. I'm calling a boom. Going to continue for an Aaron Jones this week. Jerome Ford taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. No more Nick Chubb. Damn it, poor Chubb. He was sent to IR with that broken foot. And, I mean, the Brownies also making changes at the quarterback position with benching a Jameis Winston for the likes of DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And I mean, okay, many do believe that this is going to hamper this Cleveland Brownies offense, but DTR is a good quality quarterback. He can move the football. He's not great yet, but I mean, he's good, and they shouldn't necessarily stumble too bad. And this is, I mean, Ford's been a good back overall in his short career, no question about it. Even when he's been given the opportunity for these lead touches, he's got a nice matchup this week as well, taking on the Bengals, who struggle to stop anybody on defense. Ford could see plenty of volume to help us gain that victory this week, scoring 17 plus last week. Absolutely love the matchup versus the Bengals. And even if Joey B and Chase do light up the scoreboard early on and they do make it difficult to run the football, we could see ample amounts of PPR checks coming from DTR to Ford, which could uplift his stats. I'm calling a boom for a Jerome Ford this week. Wide receiver time, DeAndre Hopkins taking on the Houston Texans. First and foremost, y'all know me, man. I am a sucker for revenge games, and this ain't no different. Here we got Diop taking on his former club, now with these Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, the big news, Patrick Mahomes, boy, he's training to suit up this week. I don't know how, man, the way he was bent back, but apparently it was deemed as a mild ankle injury, and he's also logged 2 practices. I do believe they play on Saturday, kickoff, and D-Hop, I mean, okay, he hasn't been great overall this season, what we had necessarily hoped for, but he's on the back 9 of his career. We do know this, but he has been putting up respectable numbers in a short time with Patrick Mahomes having 3 boom games out of the last 4, but coming off a bust. I'm telling y'all, get your popcorn ready, man, because he is ready to play ball versus his former club. Revenge, boom, incoming for a DeAndre Hopkins. Malik Neighbors taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And seeing this super rookie, I'm telling y'all, man, he lights the stage on fire even with a 4th-string quarterback throwing him the football. The Giants this week, okay, they take on the Falcons, who themselves made the switch at the position, starting a Michael Penix over a Kirko Chains. Still no word on the quarterback this week for the Giants, but I mean, Neighbors, he's already proven the fact that he is QB-proof. Given the target share early on, he's going to make plays and at least give us that heavy PPR upside, having 3 straight booms topping out at 19+ last week. You got to love the point totals last week. Malik should again be able to find room on these dirty birds. And I mean, there could be some plenty garbage time as well. Even if the Falcons do pick up some steam and they do start playing ball, I'm calling a boom again for Mr. LSU. He is a stud, no question. Jaden Reed taking on the New Orleans Saints. Oh, man, and at this point, how the hell can we trust the Packers' Jaden Reed? How can we do it? What made him special early on? It was not only the gadget plays going for the TDs, but the trust he had from the coaching staff, getting the target share, the trust he had in Jordan Love, feeling the love for love. I mean, over the last 5 weeks, it has not been great, man. He has been so inconsistent, busted 4 out of the last 5, making us all extremely frustrated, making some of us even miss the postseason due to that goose egg he put up. I mean, okay, but the positives, he did put up a nice 18 points 3 weeks ago, so we know that he is able to do it. This isn't the question. It's just about straight volume and upside in that sense, man. He's got a good matchup this week taking on the Saints. Could be the week that he does break out in a big way, but I mean, I got to err on the side of caution. What else can I say to suggest to play this, man? It's got to be at your own risk, man. You got to be feeling it in the gut to say Reed is going to do something. He is truly right now a boom or bust player this week as well. I think that it should be coming, but I got to play it safe, man. I'm calling a bust once again for a Jaden Reed. I wish I could promote it, man. It is just far too risky in the fantasy football semifinals. Jameson Williams, J-Mo, taking on the Chicago Bears. Here we got another player, man. He's been quite reliable, but not overabundant. That's been the difference, man. The top-end point productivity has not followed this man all season long, but he has done more than enough to keep it very competitive. J-Mo's boomed 3 of the last 5, which is great, and boomed in the last 2, which is nice. So the flex appeal is definitely here for a J-Mo. It makes him a decent play based on his usage, based on the potential touchdown upside he does get, but it does not give us the warm and fuzzies for that top-end 20-point totals. But I'm telling you, man, the Lions, they are moving in the wrong direction in terms of healthy bodies, man. They just keep getting injured. Everybody losing my dude Monty, man. This one hurts in a big way. But, I mean, this could bring some upside to J-Mo that much more, using that speed, trying to keep the defense honest, recreating the run and, via the screen passes potentially to J-Mo, drags, slants, maybe, utilizing his speed that much more, being a little bit different on the offensive play calling. You got to believe they're going to utilize J-Mo a little bit more now that Monty is gone, because Gibby is not going to be able to handle the entire workload. He's still going to need some support. And his role versus the Bears, I mean, he should definitely be here to keep the defense at bay. I'm calling boom, baby, boom for a J-Mo this week. I do like the play, no question. Tight ends, Brenton Strange taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. What I say last week, man, I was a big fan of Strange, and I mean, the fact that McMoney Jones could find him with high levels of frequency did repay us in a very big way. Strange got us 13 points, which is very good for tight ends. Not, great for other positions, but very good. It's jumped the man to tight end 30 already, and he's only played in a handful of contests as a starting tight end. So this is what I'm saying. You get a tight end who can score you 13 points, you're winning in a very big way. It's limited action so far for Strange. He's no stranger, pun intended, to heavy targets and red zone appeal, snagging those third down PPR opportunities. And Mac Money Jones, he is not a bad quarterback. He just makes dumbass decisions. And if he can cut those, man, we know at least he can feed guys like a Brian Thomas Jr. and a Strange on the regular. Back-to-back booms incoming for this tight end as the Jags look to close out their season. Cade Otton taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Man, I'm telling y'all, nothing makes me more sad than seeing the Bucks move away from my dude Cade Otton over the last 5 games. It's been horrific, man. I can't stand it. But while his shares definitely have been impacted by the return of Mike Evans, the Buccaneers are also using the supportive cast that much more. With a McMillan, the running backs they're using to go along with that run game. I mean, it's just so many, mouths to feed, limited balls to go around, taking on the lowly Cowboys this week, who are actually still alive in the playoff hunt, if you can believe it. This contest screamed a few weeks ago, Cade Otton all the way. But now I'm saying we're going to have like a typical 6.4 coming for this tight end. And in the semifinals, we need to find as much upside as we possibly can. This week, I got to replace my golden boy, Cade. I'm calling a bust this week once again. It hurts, man. I'm telling y'all, it really hurts. George Kittle taking on the Miami Dolphins. Okay, the 49ers legit playing for contract incentives, pride, and they could definitely play for, spoiler, to put a fork in the fish this week. They're both going golfing. Let's just be real. Their season is basically done at this point. But George Kittle, he's been an absolute dynamo this season, and it's going to continue with the struggles of a Debo. Jennings and Kittle have been the 1-2 punch in this offense, especially with rotating running backs. Now, Guarendo's still there right now, but Kittle's been like the source of the offense from a Brock Purdy at this point, and Purdy's going to be looking to get paid. So they still want to put up some good numbers on the board as Purdy wants that massive contract extension. Kittle still is the tight end too. Behind super rookie Brock Bowers at this point. But he should have a bounce back. Last week wasn't his greatest day. Only 8 points from a Kittle. I too truly smell a end zone trip coming for the people's tight end, George Kittle. Boom time for this tight end. He's going to have definitely a bounce back this week. Last one, Dalton Kincaid. Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. Okay, last one on my board. What else can I say? Facing the Patriots in a game that, the Buffalo Bills, it's going to be cold, man. Apparently, it's going to be really cold as balls out there. And the Bills right now, they can coast these last 3 contests, get those wins, go home, get geared up for the playoffs. Legitimately, these are New England twice and New York Jets to round out the last 3 contests. So, it was nice to see Dalton more involved last week, but Allen is legitimately throwing to everybody on this offense, keeping that mantra from the offseason that everybody eats. It's absolutely true. Still today, as we enter Week 16, Kincaid right now is only the tight end 22, having only, 3 boom games this season. Safe to say it's been a giant disappointment overall for the season so far for Kincaid. Even though he did miss some time to that knee injury, it wasn't great overall. He could see some targets to come his way, but I foresee a lot of running, a lot of, open passes to the open wide receivers. Unless Kincaid gets a TD, it's going to be ugly for those top end points. I'm calling a bust once again for my boy, Dalton Kincaid. Do not like it, will not trust it for the fantasy semifinals. But there you have it. That is Boomer Bust week number 16, semifinal time. And I get you covered 4-start sit for the Saturday and Sunday, Monday games. It's going to be lovely. Man, it's crunch time. We got to get ready, man. Get your kahunas ready because it is coming. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.